Hey all you Simonites, it's Simon Simaan, owner and broker of the Simon Simaan Group right here in beautiful Dr. Phillips. And we have a special treat for you today. We have Mr. Taylor Young with Erb & Young Insurance, and we're going to talk about how Hurricane Ian has affected Florida insurance companies. But first, before we continue the video, make sure you hit that notification button on top, like, comment, and subscribe. And my personal contact information is below, so if you're thinking about buying a home or selling a home, make sure you reach out. Taylor, how has Hurricane Ian messed us up?
I think it's continued to put more pressure on these insurance companies. There's also massive challenges in the state of Florida for property insurers to stay profitable. They're all losing money. Most homeowners insurance carriers are losing money. You're seeing multiple companies either go out of business or leaving the state of Florida already. So a Cat 4, almost Cat 5 hurricane in one of the most sensitive places in Florida, in Southwest Florida, it's going to be continued challenges. And you know, those insurance companies buy reinsurance. It's an insurance policy for an insurance company, and a lot of them will likely tap into those reinsurance policies to be able to pay out claims and make people whole. But one little tidbit about Hurricane Ian that most people probably don't realize is that most of the claims are going to be flood related, and flood insurance is a very limited coverage as compared to a homeowner's insurance policy. And so those flood losses are going to put challenges and pressure on Florida homeowners. So it's a mess.
So basically the insurance companies that have the flood insurance, that have claims on those will be most affected from what happened in Hurricane Ian. Yeah,
so homeowners, you're going to probably have split claims. You're going to have flood, which affects anything from the water line below. It was rising tidal water, so anybody coastal is going to be affected by flood, and anything above the flood line where the water came in is going to be a homeowner's insurance claim. So you're going to probably have two different policies battling over who covers what, and hopefully as many homeowners in the state of Florida affected get made whole, but you just know there are going to be some losers at the end of this.
I have a question, because when I talk to my clients and they say, hey Simon, we're in a flood zone X, which doesn't flood that often.
Right.
And the ones on the water, they're flood zone AE. So should a flood zone X owner get flood insurance knowing what you know now, that homes that are in flood zone X actually flooded?
Yeah, the answer is yes for me every single time. And if you don't specifically buy flood insurance, you're choosing to self-insure that property for flood. And flood in an X zone, which is kind of what you'd call a preferred flood zone, is just not that expensive. You're talking about $300, $400, $500 a year to insure your home. And a lot of these events like Hurricane Ian, what do they say? It was a once in 500 year event. So it's going to probably change the way the flood maps in certain areas are written. And those flood maps only change when disaster strikes to force them to change it. So it's kind of like putting up a stop sign after somebody's hurt rather than before. So yes, strongly consider buying flood insurance because it's just not that expensive.
It's not invest in a boat, right?
That's right. Or you could build an ark. Noah did that back in the day.
Or a paddleboard. Or in Florida, surfboards are also used as flotation devices.
Right, correct.
Well, awesome. So we heard it from Taylor Young on how Hurricane Ian has affected Florida. But frankly speaking, Orlando wasn't hit that hard. So
yeah, Orlando, I think for the most part, there was pockets of Orlando that were hit really hard from a flood perspective. I think you've seen different areas in Seminole, and I saw New Smyrna Beach, into Volusia County, in different parts of the state, that in pockets you saw some epic rising water and flood. So I've gotten some personal devastating calls about people in Orlando that have received 1.5 feet of water in their house. Near downtown, there was Lake Davis was a very popular area that was hit hard. But for the most part, Orlando people experienced a lot of power outage, no heavy wind. The problem in Orlando was just the flooding, and it was in certain zones, major, mostly flood zones, those AEs and those lake zones that are prone to rising water.
So we learned two things. Number one, if you don't get flood insurance, invest in a boat or a paddleboard. And number two, if you do decide to buy a home, make sure you buy a home through us in Southwest Orlando, Windermere, Dr. Phillips. We're good to go.
It's a beautiful place.
Hey guys, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Check out my other videos. We're going to do volume 2 with Taylor. He's going to show us around. In the meantime, every home has a story. Let us tell yours. Until then, let's go.